Alright, I'm making this Protection Paladin Season of Discovery Phase 2 guide because I've been looking online after I've already cooked up my own build, and I'm seeing these builds that are literally giving me brain rot mold, taking away the grooves that I already created. So I'm here to give the only guide that you need to clear the hardest content in Phase 2. And we're going to start by first saying, I'm not going to be talking about my logs. I'm not going to be going over my details. I have my name in the bottom corner here. If you want to look up my logs, go for it. What this build is meant for is to take the least amount of damage possible. It's to do what we're supposed to do as a tank, make our healers happy, and protect the 9 other people in our group so they can pop off and be the best people they can be. As you can see, I'm parked out in front of the Northshire Abbey where I got my start when Bishop Benedict told me that I'm going to be the best Paladin tank that I can be. So first, we're starting out with Redoubt. 5 points into Redoubt because it increases our chance to block by 30% after taking a critical strike. Guess what happens after a critical strike? Our health is probably low. What do we want to do? We want to block. So we're going to do Redoubt. Then we're going Toughness. 5 out of 5. Why? Because it gives us 10% extra armor from the items that we're wearing. Armor equals damage reduction. No brainer, right? Cool. Then we're moving on. We're going to go Shield Specialization. We're going to block an extra 30% by putting 3 points in this talent. Great. An extra 30%. That's less damage that we're taking. That makes sense, right? Cool. Then we're going to go Improved Righteous Fury because we want to make sure when we're doing damage, what we're attacking is going to be attacking us and not the rest of our group because that causes chaos. It makes our healers have to heal multiple people rather than just focus on us. So we're going to go Improved Righteous Fury. Next, Blessing of Kings. Whatever, it's not that great. It used to be cool. Now hunters all have their little 10% buff. So Blessing of Kings is whatever, but we need to put the point in there, so we're going to do it. The next is going to be Improved Hammer of Justice because we can get 15 seconds off of our cooldown, and it's going to be one of the only talents we can take that's not going to totally suck ass in PvP. We're going to be able to annoy people. We're going to be able to be a front runner in our groups in the Blood Moon event and Arathi Basin. We're going to be able to piss people off, and we're going to love that. Next, we're going to go Reckoning, 5 out of 5. We're going to have a 100% chance to do 2 attacks if we get hit with a critical strike. It's going to help with our aggro a little bit, but basically it's 5 throwaway points. Why? Because we want Blessing of Sanctuary. Blessing of Sanctuary is going to make us take less damage every time we get hit. It's also going to do holy damage every time we block an attack. The whole point of this is that we're blocking a lot, so we're doing extra holy damage. We're going to be getting extra threat because of that. That's what we want. Mobs attacking us, not the rest of the group. We're going to get one-handed specialization. We got 4 points we're going to put in that. It's going to give us 8% extra damage with our one-handed weapon. Whatever. Who cares? We're doing that so we can get Holy Shield. Holy Shield, not only does it look cool, look at this. Holy Shield. Boom! Look at that light. It looks sick. Not just that, but we're going to do holy damage every time we block while it's on. It's going to increase our block chance by 30%. Every time we block, it's going to do holy damage. And that holy damage is going to add 20% extra threat onto our Improved Righteous Fury, which is going to be at 120%. So we're going to be running literally 140% extra threat every time we do damage with Holy Shield. So all the consecration simps who say that we want to take consecration so we can keep AoE threat, they really don't know what they're talking about. Holy Shield is the way to go. This is the way, and that's it. Now let's go to our runes. We're going to go to our runes over here, starting with Avenger's Shield. Avenger's Shield is going to be what we want to take into AoE because it does AoE damage and it does a whole lot of damage. It's all holy damage, so it's going to help our threat. If you're doing single target boss fights, I recommend doing Exorcism because you're going to be able to cast it twice as frequently, and so it's going to help your threat on that single target mob. Next, we're going to either do Divine Storm on our chest piece. Divine Storm is going to not necessarily stack with our Righteous Fury because it's weapon damage, not holy damage. But if you're doing a single target fight that hits hard and you don't want to run Divine Storm, I recommend running Aegis. Why? Because it increases your block value by 30%. What does that mean? You're taking less damage. Cool. I want to take less damage. I'm a tank. Then you're going to have an extra 10% chance to increase your block chance by 30% literally every time you take damage. No brainer, right? Okay, cool. We're taking less damage. That's what we want. Next, we're going to put on Enlightened Judgments because it's going to increase our judgment range. We're going to be able to pull ranged with our judgment, and it's also, importantly, going to increase our spell chance hit by 17%. That means bosses aren't going to be resisting our stuff. That means we're going to be keeping threat on the bosses, and we're not going to have them running over to the mage who just cannot stop spamming their casts, which is our job to make sure that they can spam their casts and do the best damage that they can do. Next, Guarded by the Light. This is going to allow us to have infinite mana every time we hit a mob. We're going to be gaining 5% of our maximum mana back every 3 seconds. If you're hitting a mob throughout a fight, which you should be, this is going to be infinite mana for you. You're never going to have to worry about it, especially with Hand of Reckoning, which is a must-have. You're going to be able to taunt. You're going to get mana back when you're getting healed. You're going to be able to have additional threat on top of your improved Righteous Fury. So we're talking 140%. So Hand of Reckoning is definitely something that you're going to take. And that's really it. I would say run Retribution Aura because it's going to help you also get some additional holy damage. If you feel like you're getting chunked, then you should probably do Devotion Aura. However, some of the fights are going to need some of your resistance auras. And if that's the case, use your brain and do it or don't do it, whatever. Again, I'm not going over my logs right now. If you want to look them up, they're public, they're online. My name is in the corner. You can look it up yourself. This build is going to get you 6 out of 6 in Gnomeregan. It's going to allow you to take massive pulls in Scarlet Monastery so you can get this tabard that looks sick and this Mog that looks sick. Otherwise, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you think I'm wrong, I really don't care because you're wrong. And that's it. Have a good day. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.